Hi, I'm Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. Tonight I have a very special show. I have Jacquie Chandler, my geotourism guide, and we're going to go on a short trip, but plenty of knowledge. So welcome to be back in Nevada Trails, Jacquie.
Appreciate it. Grateful to be here, Michael.
Well, I've missed you so much because every time you're on the show, I learn so much. And I watched one of our old shows before you came today, and boy, did I learn a lot. It was just, the dancing dragonflies, what's it, Winter Hill, olive oil, the miles of soil in El Dorado, 26 miles of
14 feet of topsoil.
14 feet, and every time you come on, I just learned. So when you come on, I really consider you my best educator for the public.
Oh.
So I know time is to the minimum. So you let me know. We got 3 projects, and one is you're going to teach me about wildlife awareness.
Yes. So our organization, Sustain Tahoe, is focused in 3 areas, and the goal of our mission basically is to inspire stewardship. So how do you inspire stewardship so that the 30 million people coming to the Tahoe Basin, that they will get a greater sense of responsibility and stewardship, so they do activities that sustain or enhance the area? So one thing we realized looking at the wildlife issue, because we have problems with the bears and the human contact with the bears, is that people aren't aware that we're in a wildlife habitat. So David Colley from Smart Bear Box has designed these signs at the Truckee Roundhouse, which is a makerspace, and these are made of metal so that people can put these on their bear boxes, especially this one down here, and let people know as soon as you enter the Tahoe watershed, it is a wildlife habitat. You are in their habitat.
Well, I know in my neighborhood we have some tourism houses, so it would be good education for my neighbors to know that they're not to freak out about a bear, because that's kind of like their home.
You know, it would be great if every short-term rental put one of these on their door, on their house, or on their bear box to let people know. The issue that we have here in Tahoe that isn't very understood is that the Washoe people, the Washishu people, they never hunted the bears. They considered them their brother, and they didn't build homes where the bears were, and so the problem is the bears don't have a fear of humans, and that's why they just think, oh, you moved in, that's your den, you left some pizza, I'm sure you wouldn't mind. And so we're putting these signs out, we're asking people to purchase these as part of a fundraiser, to put on your bear box, or put on your house, put in your house. Let people know at your office that the bears are here, and then there's plenty of literature to, stash your trash, be mindful, don't leave food in your car. And then on top of this, I'm working with Lisa Krasner at the Nevada Assembly.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know. And she invited me to come and co-author a bill to create riparian right-of-ways, so that in the 26th district, which is where Washoe County hits the lake, the 6 creeks in Incline Village, which are wildlife corridors, they will now have some air cover for the bears, so that when the bears are in a creek area with some easement, you back away. You know, when they come to your house, you go shoo, 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 but there's got to be some place in their habitat that they aren't harassed or killed. And so now the corridors will be.
Right now it's Taylor Creek has a lot of salmon in them. And finally, the Forest Service decided to put cages or fence around so people don't harass the bears when they're trying to eat.
Yeah,
because it's going to be winter,
We don't have a bear problem, we have a human problem.
Well, yes, challenge.
And now what's happened that's very sad, they've closed Taylor Creek because people get too close and they harass. And so there's a riparian right-of-way. They're just saying back off. And as we build our awareness, hopefully we can coexist respectfully, peacefully.
Excellent.
So that's our project 1.
I have a bear at my house that I shot it as a baby, a little 3-minute movie, and it was sucking on my bird feeder. So after that I stopped having bird feeders, but I was relatively new to the area. And it was so cute. It had this big claws, and it was so gentle with the bird feeder. It was like amazing. But now it still comes around as a big guy. So you'll say hi, but we have this. It's just amazing.
Right.
I have pictures of him, but it's just let it go. We don't harass him. But he knows that he's not this. He can't stay put, and I can't say hello too much. but it's the same bear. And
But you know what? That's perfect. They live here. They have addresses like
Yeah,
you do.
he can walk
And
through.
He's just your neighbor. He's come by. You can walk through. You got into the bird feeder. You took it away.
Oh, that was a
and
long time ago.
now
But
he
he's
just
just
walks
walking
through.
back to the woods up at Heavenly. But he's got to cross the Pioneer Trail to get there. But my little domicile is right, and he's
Now
just,
he has to cross Pioneer Trail.
well, that's just where he lives.
And you know what you'll find is if you live near a creek, think about it, 72 miles of shoreline.
Yeah.
62 creeks and tributaries feed Lake Tahoe. So every mile or so, there's a wildlife corridor. So if you live near a creek, you're more likely to see bears. And the idea is back off, let them have some space in their habitat.
And they're letting the people,
That's
the
what we
bears
wanna do.
live at Taylor Creek now. Now, are you ready to talk about the Earth Walk?
So our second project is called the Earth Walk. We started out, it was called Walking with a Washoe Heart because we wanted to honor and highlight 10,000 years of stewardship. I mean, they lived here and did they leave a trace? Hardly any trash, right? After 10,000 years. We probably could learn something from that culture. So this is a picture of the Gallistungle, which is their traditional Washoe shelter. And we're having these put up in areas around the lake from South
That's
Lake.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And Ben Rupert, who's Washoe and Paiute, he built 2 of them with his son. And so right now we have one in Incline and one in Tahoe Vistana, at the Tahoe Vistana. And there's one we're going to build out by Taylor Creek that are already have Gallistungles there, and there's parking and a visitor center. So we look for a place that has parking, a visitor center, bathrooms, and a place to put a Gallistungle, and an area where a visitor can do a mile or a half-mile hike. Because this isn't a power walk, this is a mindful earth walk, walking with a Washoe heart, because the people that lived here for 10,000 years, you know, there was no Safeway. They paid with their gratitude and their thanking. And how they had to do that was they had to get connected to the land and the water. So this is the first time this has ever been done. Have you heard of forest bathing by any chance?
No, I have not.
Nature immersion, Shinrin-yoku?
I think that's some of the things you've taught me in the past, but I
Well,
did not
currently,
remember properly.
it's trending right now. And the idea is if you really slow down and pull in the smells and the sounds of the earth, and it's, you know, Tahoe looks better naked in its naked
Well,
state.
what I've learned in
It's
the
like
in the past is my wife's legally blind, and someone asked her what she liked about you know, where we lived, and I thought she said we have a view of the mountain. Well, she can't see the mountain.
Right.
So her view, the smell of the pine, and you've got me walk around my yard in the dirt with my bare feet, so the touch
right.
of the earth, you know, getting away from that concrete feel, and then the touching of the trees. And I just got done pulling weeds and things from my whole property and doing pine needles and touching things, touching things. So you got me touchy-feely on my property, and
That's
I
what
owe it
we
all to
don't
you
do.
because I never even learned to take off my shoes till I met you, I think.
It's funny with the barefoot. So the idea is to exactly do that. Open up your senses, just like your wife. It's perfect that she's blind. And this is a book that guides you on different ways that you might begin to notice what is really around on a little easy walk. And this is showing you about horsetail. Do you know this is the oldest plant on the planet, over 4 million years old, older than dinosaurs.
Wow.
40 million. This is a very old plant, and it's here in Tahoe, the horsetail, and it was used for a lot of different things. So the idea is to connect with the community of trees as you notice that all the roots, well, you won't notice the root systems, but when you see groups of trees, all the root systems are connected. So the earth sets up a beautiful community and a culture of caring and sharing. And all you have to do is just take your cell phone, turn it off, and just take this easy walk, take your time, and then journal if you'd like, or color your own experience by what you experience slowing down. And then, of course, you want to smell the Jeffrey trees because they smell like butterscotch. And then think about
That's
the
what
shape.
one of the things you've got me to do too was to actually, like my wife, smell the
Yeah.
pine, and we love the flowers and the smells of the wilderness.
Exactly.
Wildflowers are so.
And this seems so simple, and it's more that something that was happening maybe more in our childhood, but modern culture has really lost track of the language.
Kids can't play outside as much, so now they have.
Right.
If they come to Tahoe and experience these things, they can really carry it over to their children. And no offense, but the tourists in my area, they're going to have major neck problems because they can't look up past that phone. I see them walking across the street from the Marriott Village, and if you look right, there's a view of the lake.
Right.
They don't look right.
No.
They look.
Look at their phone.
I'm surprised.
Well,
but anyways,
this is a bit of a digital detox.
But
I mean,
what they can do though is teach your kids how to get started, and maybe you'll
Well,
help
that-
that generation like you helped me. I was relatively old when you
thank
started teaching me.
Michael. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate what you taught me.
Well, that just shows you how love is so viral, right? You share your love of something, and that love is enhanced with a deeper touch, and then other people go, I want that experience. So this is a digital detox. It is a way for families to have an adventure together. And the hope is that these earth walks, and this will be the sign that this will go along the trail to guide people along with each site will have its own site map. So this is a site map of the one that we do have currently built at Incline Village.
Excellent.
And so it's just a little half mile, but you could take an hour to get immersed. It's, if you think of it like a bath, you know, that's why it was called forest bathing, is because you just soak in nature, and all of a sudden you hear things, smell things, see things you would have never noticed if you were on a power walk. And the beauty is when you have an immersive experience like that, you will build a connection, and when you connect, you care, and you share at that level of caring, that's how we could build Stewart.
Well, I know it's long term. This is going to sound silly, but I had a teacher like you in like 5th grade.
Oh yeah?
And she would take us to the woods, and there was a path. You'd walk it, and you get to a certain time and space, there'd be a tree, and there'd be a little sign saying what the tree was, and you look up, and that's a tree. But there'd be so many different types of items throughout this path. Like today out in the parking lot, I'm going through the leaves. I'm going, oh, I flash back. You know, I flash back walking through the nature with the trees, and when I got older, I took dates there on the same paths, and so I guess I wasn't totally cityfied, but you remind us of our youth, I think.
Well, that's, and you know, where are those trails, those interpretive trails? They're now botanical gardens, I guess, that have.
I hope they're still around. I don't know.
But even if there's not the name of what the plant is, it's fun to just ask some questions. Like, if you know nothing but Facebook, just say, who are you? Who eats you? What do you eat? What do you do here? Wonder what this is doing here. You know, wonder about it. Just increase your wonder. That would be good. So that's our second project. We're building that out. We are looking for sponsors. I'm hoping a Patagonia or REI might come forward right now. What's been very cool is that...
Is there a number they can call and track you down and ask about it?
If anybody is interested, we're looking at some sites in Reno. We'd like some sites in Gardnerville or Carson. Galena Creek is a good site. It has a visitor center, parking lot, bathroom, has a docent place where you could pick up a booklet. We can create a map for it. And then we need a sponsor for each site to help us. You know, it costs money to put up these galistungles and all the signage that we put. It's like one big package.
Well, we have a lot of beautiful places here in Douglas County. I imagine we'll be getting a call before you leave the station.
That would be great. And so one thing that's happened right now is Sabrina over at Millennial Partners, she works with Remax, they've been printing these for free for us so that we can, this is a fundraiser, everything is a fundraiser to help us do this work to keep the effort going. So we've given them some, you know, real estate on the back here, and so somebody could come along and be, you know, connected to this. The one reason I like them is they have a sustainability statement about who they are as people and what they value as being able to deal
this
with
is
property.
very, very important. I think you're on the right thing. And did you say you had a number?
Yeah, the third one.
A contact
The
information?
contact number is 775-298-2333. You can find us at sustaintahoe.org and also email at sustaintahoe@gmail.com.
And we'll be giving that out at the end of the show,
And
too. I just
then-
wanted to get it out there while we're talking
I know,
fundraiser.
that's true.
When you're
Yes,
doing
it would be
fundraiser,
great.
you know, then...
We need some corporate sponsors, people to help scout and build these sites together, and schools, students, people that want to get involved with environmental education and help inspire stewardship in the 30 million visitors and the locals and travelers.
I remember one of our previous shows we did about helping trail building. That was awesome. And so what you're talking about for volunteers is also something that I think people will last their whole lives.
It does.
So.
I mean, this is, what is it, $40 trillion worth of services that Earth provides us every year. So that leads us perfectly to the next.
Your net is gratitude.
Gratitude.
Ornaments.
So our third thing is to inspire more gratitude in the visitor as the visitors come and walk through. So here's David Colley again is making these on the laser, and volunteers are helping us paint it. These are all called gratitude ornaments, and the reason they're called, thank you. So there's one you can see, and we have different ones depending on, like here's one about the bear, and it tells the story of the contribution. Like the bear, I've already talked about that, and that they're an indicator species for a healthy forest. It highlights the nonprofit that is supporting the safety and the well-being of the wildlife. And then on the back, it gives you a little gratitude prayer or something that you can thank the bear for being a great earth brother.
You've spent a lot of time.
So this is a souvenir with a service. So people like to have something, a memento, but it tells a story and it highlights what is positive about their contribution that people may not know, like the mustangs, the poor wild mustangs down in Nevada. They've had a bit of a hard time. But did you know that their grazing technique keeps the water in the earth so it prevents desertification? So these are actually this is a wonderful contribution. So we want to thank the wild mustang for the balance it creates.
You can see some wild horses here in Douglas County.
I know, it's pretty exciting. And
also, this is funny to me because the show I watched, we had talked about Tahoe tourism, where people are buying things and learning from Tahoe. So this is from Tahoe, made by Tahoe artists.
Made in Tahoe, inspired by the sugar pine, which is an important conifer, the largest pine cones in the world. And we highlight the Sugar Pine Foundation because of their work of planting seedlings. It used to be 25% of the watershed was sugar pines, and then because of the clear wood, they were taken out, and there's only 5%. Some of them are sick. They need to be replanted. They're important for water clarity.
Well, at the tourist center up in State Line, one of the workers there, I think his name is Mike, he collects sugar pines. They give them to tourists. So if you can stop and get a sugar pine cone, and they're just beautiful.
They're big.
Yeah, so then if you notice how beautiful they are for ornaments, you might want to donate to the foundation to bring them back, because they really do help our lands.
Or bring your family out and have a fun experience with a sugar pine. And then here's a fun one, the little Sage-Grouse. This is another Nevada desert one. And we want to thank the Sage-Grouse for inspiring us to dance in the desert. This one is a little bit toward burning.
They are
a little bit of an
funny
abstract,
species, but
they have a funny
their
species.
mating is entertaining.
But we want it. And then the wolf, of course, there's not a lot of wolves here, but they have been reintroduced. And the wolf is so important for the balance of the other wildlife in the area. Like, for instance, when the wolf's back, the red fox come back, and then the red fox eat the little rodents that carry the Lyme disease. So wolves, bringing the wolves back, introducing them, because they have such a good way of keeping the balance of all the wildlife.
I did not know the wolves were back.
Lyme disease. Well, they're just starting to come back. Not a lot of them, but we don't think about their contribution, and we know what happened in Yosemite. They tried for decades to restore the creeks, and they brought the wolves back, and the creeks suddenly got restored.
And then they help the rodents that cause the Lyme disease.
They help the red fox come back, and the red fox eat the rodents, and the rodents carry the Lyme disease. So everything is in balance. $40 trillion worth of services. It's just this whole concept is have some gratitude, thank the water. Like the Washoe, the ones on the water are about how the Washoe people considered this the womb of their mother, this lake, this precious lake. And so they always thanked it, had blessings, ceremony, dances to honor the gifts.
Well, it's kind of...
That's what we're trying to bring.
You're making me flash, because when I do hikes, the first thing I see, I have nothing that I've seen about the history of Washoe, but the first thing I see is the guys who put their initials in the trees. Yeah. And you don't see that with the Washoe. They've been here 10,000 years, and everything's just beautiful nature. And you do a hike, and you see, oh, that's Fred Jenkins from 1949 or something. So you just think about what you do when you do something silly like that. And in this book, I had a chance to glance through the book, and there's a lot of education. I saw a heart rock that you said that it was there. You just found it.
Yeah, you can. But see, when you observe more, I mean, like your wife, she really pulls in the language by being able to touch and open her other senses. And we are very sight dependent, so maybe that could be a good idea. We invite people when they take these walks to do them in silence and then reflect. And if you want to put a petroglyph, put it in the book, do some art, be inspired. But
well, how do you find these tourist items?
Okay, so
I shouldn't call them tourist items, but education items.
Souvenirs. Okay, so these definitely locally made Tahoe gratitude ornaments are available all over the lake, but they're mostly in, coffee shops, gift shops, Ivy Coffee Lab in Incline Village, Visitor Center. As a matter of fact, I'm going over to Coma Coffee to see if they want to carry some.
Coma.
Coma.
It's okay. I do the same
You
thing.
could go in a coma if you had too much coffee. It's Coma Coffee. So I don't have a place in Carson, and if anybody would like to have these ornaments, they come with a stand, and we can set you up with some.
Well, we'll
ornaments
ask
they can sell.
Heartstrings and see if she'd be interested in.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
we don't
Bill.
have them
I'm
down
sure
in-
Bill knows some
in
places
Carson.
around here that.
And so these are definitely, we don't so much sell them direct unless people, because we want them available in stores, and we highlight the stores that carry them on our website and promote them, because we want people when they're in Tahoe to get these and read and think about that relationship and that gratitude that they may just give back. I mean, if you think about people that have green thumbs, right? You think, how do you do plants? Because they talk, they put out that love energy. That's the one thing that we can give back for the $40 trillion worth of,
Oh, I can grow anything.
you know,
Because I love my
that's
my
it.
plants.
It's that love. If we just put out that love and that thank and that gratitude, we can restore quite a bit.
I bought my wife roses for her birthday, and it lasted like 3 weeks because just take care of them. And everyone says you can't do that. It's impossible. Well, no, if none of you take care of your plants.
See, that's the key.
Your
That's the
education is absolutely is awesome.
Oh,
And
it's
I
just-
love the work. It's so intricate.
It's a beautiful sign. David did that one too, and it's. This is going to be at each site. They'll have one of these next to the Skálastungal to help educate people. And the beauty of this sign is that it shows this is their heritage icon, right? They were the guardians, the stewards of this lake, and the hope is that we will carry on that stewardship for the next 10,000 years. That is how we save Lake Tahoe and how we host it. And this is a potential mudroom experience. You know, this is like take off your shoes and enter this sacred space as people did for 10,000 years. And that way it'll receive that love and the sacredness will stay on and we won't.
I agree 100%
Trash
because we have to think differently. We have to reprogram our brains because we're not doing it very well right now.
Our culture is a little angst on disposable and cheap and quick. And this is about, everything here is about slow down, make a notice, you know, have an offering, notice more. So that's the hope. That's what we have.
Well, I think everything's going pretty good. So at this point, do you want to go ahead and wrap up, or do you have anything else going?
Well, I mean, I pretty much those are the main 3 projects other than identifying geotourism activities throughout the watershed. So if somebody is doing or guiding an activity that is helping people sustain and enhance the area, let us know about it. We'll highlight it on our website, sustaintahoe.org.
Excellent.
And otherwise, let me know if you would like to carry the ornaments or get some ornaments. These are great for weddings and events, and we can also customize things. And if there's something you see that we should add to our collection, maybe beavers or yellow cress or something that we want to call out and be grateful for, please let me know, and we'll make a gratitude ornament for it.
Well, I think the volunteers should definitely contribute. And then as far as the, now that you're getting involved with politics, is there anything we should do to help send her a message or anything? Or
Well, yeah, that would be great. So if you want to let Lisa Krasner know that riparian right-of-ways are the right way to be respectful and work toward coexisting peacefully, like you were talking about, with the wildlife, especially the bears that are getting the brunt of it. And so that would be great so that she knows there's lots of support to keep these wildlife corridors, which are all the creeks, safe for the
Excellent.
wildlife. We can give them at least that.
sounds good. All right, give out your contact one last time, and we'll let you go.
So you can reach me, Jacquie Chandler, Executive Director of Sustainable Tahoe at sustaintahoe.org, or you can call me at 777-298-2333, or email me at sustaintahoe@gmail.com. And hope to see you at one of our Earth Walks. We should be having an opening here in Incline in the next month.
Excellent. Well, Jacquie, thank you for being on Nevada Trails. It's always a pleasure.
Grateful.
And then give her a call, volunteer, and get involved. The generations need you.
Yeah.
This has been Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. Thank you for watching.